What does Zyn give you? Not just smoke-free nicotine satisfaction, but real freedom. Freedom to do what you love and choose your rewards. With Zyn Rewards, you can redeem points for premium tech, outdoor gear, and gift cards to your favorite retailers. Find your Zyn and keep finding rewards that fit your lifestyle at zyn.com/rewards. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Now's a good time to remember where tequila's story truly began. In 1795, Cuervo invented tequila.
Cuervo.
What are you doing here?
Cuervo. Anytime someone says Cuervo, I show up.
Well, I do know that to be true, but even during ad reads, like...
Cuervo.
I think you could lay out, especially for one of our great partners.
Sweet, delicious Cuervo.
Since then, Cuervo has stayed true to its roots. The same family, the same land, the same passion.
Cuervo.
So, enjoy the tequila that started it all. Cuervo.
Cuervo.
The tequila that invented tequila. Proximo. Cuervo.com. Please drink responsibly.
Cuervo.
Welcome to the Big Suey, presented by DraftKings,
Why are you listening to this show?
the podcast that seems very similar to the other Dan Le Batard podcast.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to apologize for that.
In fact, the only difference seems to be this imaging.
I have been tempted in restaurants just walking past tables to grab somebody's fries that if they're just there. That hasn't happened to you guys?
I've done it.
And now, here's the marching man to nowhere, Fat Face, and the habitual liar.
This segment is presented by LinkedIn Jobs. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/DLS. Terms and conditions apply.
David Samson of Nothing Personal will join us in moments here to discuss an assortment of different things. June Lee is reporting. How much do you imagine, Stugotz, that it costs right now to be a sports fan on average if you just want to get all of the subscriptions and streaming you need on average to watch the things the average sports fan wants to watch?
Like $17?
It's $17, what, a day, a month?
Just for everything, yeah. What's the number?
It is $4,000.
What?
So good.
$785. You have gotten so much better at this game. Yes, no, a year. 4,000. Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Cost of watching all the sports you want, over or under $4,785, because that hurts the consumer, the customer. The streaming age has created all sorts of oil wells for the teams, but they are really alienating their customer. What are you shaking your head about already, Samson?
Revenue's down for the teams. What are you talking about? The lack of cable, the lack of local TV revenue in baseball is hurting teams, not helping them.
You're going to tell me that
$4,000? What are you talking
You're going
about?
to tell me the NFL and basketball are not being aided by new streams of money that allow them to have bigger and better television contracts?
Yeah, their revenues are up, and payroll is tied to revenues, so player payroll is up as well. It's totally tied into one another. And so are you talking about fans being hurt because they're paying more to watch games for the NFL?
Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
He's talking about the consumer,
Right.
which you just
Yes.
bypassed.
Yes.
You hate
Not
the
true.
consumer. You don't care about the consumer.
I didn't say that. I just don't want you to mislead. Now, if you're saying that you have to buy every single streaming package to watch every local MLB team or local NBA team, that's not a fair way to do the comparison. But I didn't see the article, but I doubt that's what you're saying.
I'm saying that if you want to be an average sports fan and just watch whatever Red Sox games because you live in Boston, this has been done by June Lee more scientifically than you're presently doing it, and he's come up with an average sports fan cost of to watch your teams. If you want to watch the things that sports fans are crazy about, it's almost $5,000 a year.
But am I getting anything else? Are you saying that for Amazon to watch the Yankees on Friday night, I'm doing Apple, but I don't
David,
watch anything else on
It's
Apple,
life.
just sports?
I'm also telling you, for the first time in my life, being a sports fan in this market, I have to pay extra to watch the Miami Heat and the Miami Marlins, and I made the decision not to because they acquired Terry Rozier, and I'm a man of principle. But also, that's probably undercutting it, because as a soccer fan, if I like soccer in Portugal, I have to find another streamer that does that. If I want to watch Brazilian soccer, if I want to watch South American competition, I'm probably going well over $4,000. And if I want to watch it in HD or 4K, even more. It's super expensive to be able to watch all the sports that you want these days.
I'm sorry, what is your expectation? That you should just be able to get any sort of content you want for free?
That's what it's been. Like, what the reason?
Never had to pay extra.
The
to watch
reason you're
Miami
going to
Heat.
get this hostility is because you're now trying to charge something for you that you were giving away for free. It's why this show's not behind a paywall. We did not want to do that to our fans.
Well, consumers were never getting it for free. They didn't know it was on their cable bill, right? Isn't that fair?
Understood. I was paying for a cable package that gave me the RSN, but I still pay for that cable package, and now I have to pay an additional whatever to watch the Miami Heat and Miami Marlins. That's not something I've ever had to make a decision on.
What is David arguing here? Because all I said was the existence of the streaming services has made it so basketball and football have all sorts of extra sources of revenue. That cost has been put on the consumer. What do I have wrong?
It's happening. It happens in every industry across all time. Every company is looking to increase its revenue at the expense of the consumer, whether there's a fuel surcharge, whether you go to the grocery store and every now bag costs a nickel. When you rent a car, there's a car tax. In Miami, there's the hotel tax for tourists or for people who prefer to be on the hour. So this is not a new concept by any stretch.
All right, let me read this to you. In 2004, June Lee, he's a hardcore Boston fan. He would have spent $1,321 to follow his or her favorite team. That includes tickets, TV access, and merchandise. Today, 20 years later, that number is $4,785. That's a 262% jump. Wages during that stretch have risen 87%.
And June's a very good reporter. His whole new endeavor is speaking for the fan. I am sure he obsessed over this data.
Yeah, I'm not trying to sully his story or his data. I merely just want there to be proper context, which is to say that there have been increases. You say wages are up 82%. Exactly how is he calculating that? In what class? Is that an all-in, or is it just the wages of those who would spend $1,000 20 years ago and have to spend the $4,000 today? I just want to make sure always that there's apples to apples so that we can then compare it to industries, what your car costs, what it costs to go grocery shopping, what it costs to go on vacation. I just don't want sports to be singled out.
You want it to be apples to apples so that the owners can own all the apples.
I'm not an owner. I never was an owner. I was a team president, and you loved saying that I'm all for the owners. I did something to the Red Sox today that already I have a problem. So I'm not exactly carrying the water for owners by any stretch.
Okay, by some stretches, you are carrying water for owners. It's not an absolutist of by any stretch, but let's play some video here and talk about the Boston Red Sox and their new ownership situation.
Our video just went down for a second. I'll give you a thumbs up when we got it.
Okay, so the Rafael Devers, that's good. Good timing on that.
Why is he laughing, Samson?
Well, he's laughing at our just situation. Video went down for a second. Like, that's not something that happens very often when you're watching major networks.
He had the stop sign up. You were running through. We were about to go into a disaster.
Yeah, but he's not going to lament your polish or lack thereof.
Okay, no,
he's a team player.
Okay, so to be clear, we're not going to lament my polish. I'm supposed to know that this means nothing works.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Generally, that's
all right. I didn't have the universal
It's the same as
signal for
rounding
that.
third.
You would think we'd be
You're a
good
sports
at
fan.
me knowing.
Universal sign.
You'd think I'd be good at this point for knowing what the sign is for nothing around here works, but I'm not good at it yet.
There isn't a single facet of my life where two hands up mean go.
I'm being told we're lucky we're on air right now.
Yeah.
Historically, we should just assume it's not working.
Have you checked the news? We're lucky to be alive right now. So why don't you just chill out, bud? We're doing our best.
Don't you have someone in your ear, Dan? Isn't someone saying, all right, video, go? Or is it just
the funny thing about it is the last thing that was in my ear was we've got the Devers video. Like that's but that
They
part,
have it. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, that part's unspoken.
No one updated him. No one updated him.
We know where it is.
Step one.
We know where it is.
I can go in the back and watch it if I want. I just can't show it to anybody else.
Text it to me. I'll play it from my phone.
You know what? I'm going to go look at it now. You tell me all about Stanton's return and Ohtani throwing 100 miles an hour. I'm going to go look and see if I can get that fixed real quick.
On edge. It's game 6. The Cup's in
I do
town.
want to say one thing about Stanton because he played for the Yankees. I hope that your audience I don't know what hour we're in because, Chris, you completely threw me off because it's Tuesday. So I got vacuum noise in the background. I had extra shows today, so I'm sorry if you hear that background noise. It doesn't normally happen because it's supposed to be Wednesday. But are you aware, if this is local, how much the Marlins are paying for Stanton over the next 3 years?
No.
So the Marlins are paying $10 million a year of Stanton's contract to the Yankees. Part of the trade that was done by Jeter when Jeter joined the Marlins was to move Stanton to the Yankees. And if Stanton did not opt out of his deal, which he did not, and it continued on, the Marlins gave $30 million, but it was so far in the future that Marlins fans didn't even think about it. But the future's today. The future has started. $10 million of your payroll, of the Marlins payroll, is not on the field for the Marlins. It's on the field for the Yankees, and returned last night after only 3 rehab games and went 2 for 4, hit the ball hard. Now, don't mention the fact the Yankees got shut out 1-0 in 11 innings. The fact is Stanton is back.
Are they paying anyone on their roster $10 million?
Yes, Sandy.
Oh.
Sandy Alcantara makes, I want to say 17, Stugotz, and that they're trying to trade him, but he stinks so badly that they can't get anything other than Jordan Hicks, Harrison, like a number 4 prospect, and maybe another guy is the best they could get for Sandy, and they're trying to do better. Look at all those people trying.
All these people not wanting to let Dan down. It's really a blessing. He looks at this as a curse, when really, look at all that compassion.
I don't think there's enough cooks in the kitchen.
I trust the bald guy.
Why we have budget problems at Metal Art.
The bald guy can fix it,
not
man.
watching.
Get Ethan out of there.
You can tell Ethan's acting. Get out of there,
The bald
Ethan.
guy can always fix it.
Ethan can't possibly be helping the situation.
Pass on.
Even as a body double, it's not working for me.
I
Get him
just
out of the
heard
picture.
Ethan say special board.
Special.
There are a lot of people. Everybody in the company right now is working on getting this video fixed so that we can simply play for you the Boston Red Sox organization saying again and again that the problem that they had with Rafael Devers was one of alignment.
Right. 1-0 without him. I mean,
Given budget cuts, I'd posit that NASA doesn't look like that at the moment.
I'm calling in resources from all over. I'm asking Tony Reali to grab all Panthers fans in the region, bring them into the control room, and see if we can get the video running. David, what did you do to the Red Sox this morning on Nothing Personal that got them upset? And what do you make of this entire situation? A really fascinating trade for a lot of different reasons. One of the most interesting, I think, because it signals that the Boston Red Sox ownership group is now a clown show.
A clown show? A clown show? They've got the most trophies. This is your former guy, John Henry. They've got multiple World Series. We only got you 1. He went to Boston and got you a 4 spot. And number 2, the minute John Henry had to board his plane to Kansas City, game over. Devers was done. John does not like getting on a plane to Kansas City to talk to Devers. Total turd in the clubhouse, and they said it in their press avail. They just said it under the word alignment. They said it under the word atmosphere, roster flexibility. It's all a bunch of poppycock. What they were saying is, we're not going to have someone as selfish as Devers getting paid as much as he's getting paid. And the Giants were willing to pay it all because they put the D in desperado. So send them there, see you later, and we'll reallocate the money and keep going. Thank you very much.
All right, I got a couple of questions. The D in desperado, where's that saying come from? Why did you use it there? And can you be careful with your language calling a human being a total turd?
So the expression actually is a baseball expression, and it's an inside baseball. That's the real problem you should have with what I did. It's turds in the clubhouse. And what you try to do is not have that. And the reason is that if you have too many and they're spread out in the clubhouse, they can actually infect players who otherwise would be great both off and on the field. And so you're monitoring that. And what the Red Sox came out and said yesterday is, we've got a lot of good young players. And what we can't afford is to have those young players learn bad habits or learn not to be team players. And guess what? To do that, we are going to show that if you are not going to do what we say, goodbye. And they got David Ortiz to agree. Of course, he's paid by them. And he came out and said, hey, they're the boss. He got Garrett Crochet, who just signed an extension, I grant you, but got Crochet to say, hey, good night and good luck, Rafi. See you later. We're good from here.
David, as Marlins team president, I'm wondering, did you ever root for the Marlins to lose a postseason game because you wanted the series to come back home so you could make money for that game?
So no, is the short answer. Because
I believe him because he would normally if you've got him on that one, he would be honest.
He's blushing a little bit.
No, he would go in and laugh at you. What his tell on this one has been when you've got him, he's like, "That's a great question, you got me," and then he answers it honestly. My guess is if he's ever rooted for his team to lose for a home game, he'd tell us.
No, and I would. The problem is we didn't get enough of the revenue during the playoffs. The rules in baseball is it's shared with other teams, all the other teams, Central Baseball. It's shared with the umpires. Everyone gets a piece of the action. So for me, it was more important to get to the next round because that would mean more revenue for us the following season and then the possibility of winning it all. But if you have a chance to win, you win immediately. Now, we played the maximum number of home games in 2003 that you can play.
Right.
But I would not have rooted to lose purposefully to get a home game. If you're saying that Oklahoma City is going to throw Game 6 in order to get a Game 7, I can assure you that is not the case.
What if you got all the revenue? Would your opinion change? You probably would have rooted for the team to lose.
It's a really big difference.
I know it is.
So Pro Player, as you know, was a really big stadium.
Yeah.
And so we were drawing sold out. After the first wild card game against Frisco, we sold out every other home game. And so you're talking about millions and millions of dollars.
I know.
So the answer is if we got all the revenue, we would want the extra home game.
Would you, in Game 6, 2003, Josh Beckett's day, you're about to win the World Series. Did you ever think, man, I hope he blows this because winning in Game 7 would be so much more fun?
No.
Oh.
Not one time. Because
David,
once you win a World Series, you can ride that for the rest of your life. And I was sitting there watching saying, we're 6 outs away from me being able to parlay this into a lifetime gig. So, no, I didn't want to take the chance.
Who knows what?
David, just so that you know, according to June Lee's report, if you subscribe to every live service with sports, subscribe to YouTube, TV, MLB, NBA League Pass, NFL Sunday Ticket, Peacock, Apple TV Plus, Max, Amazon Prime, and Paramount, that alone is $2,600 a year. Just starting there. I thought
you get more than sports, Dan.
Understood, but if you want just sports and don't want the other things that aren't sports, you still have to pay for the sports.
I do not understand what you are saying.
You do understand what I'm saying.
It's a lot of money, dude.
Let's say you're just a sports fan and you don't want the studio from Apple TV. All you want is the games. That's what you have to pay to get all access to sports on television.
But there are things throughout life that you have to pick and choose what you can afford and what you want to spend your money on, and you make choices, which is why Apple wants to give you all sorts of other content of all shapes and sizes so that there's something for you that would be worth your while. So if your monthly cost for Apple TV, and I can't believe I'm doing a commercial for them, but if you're watching one original movie or one original show that you like and you get sports on top of that, it's already paid for itself in terms of your disposable income allocation.
I get what you're saying. We used to be able to get $30. So what? Now you get 2.
Okay.
Howdy, folks. It's Mike Ryan. Now, if you've been listening to the show a lot lately, you've heard so much playoff talk. Playoff hoops. Down here in South Florida, we're especially enamored with playoff hockey. It's not just limited to the playoffs. Motorsports, tennis, golf. It's truly one of the best times in the sporting calendar. And with the weather outside warming up, it's just perfect to hop in a pool, maybe grill up some food, but most certainly crack open some Miller Lights. I just described a pretty perfect day, didn't I? And it culminates with Miller time. There is something about a perfect grilling day. The sun's out, friends show up, and that first sip of Miller Lite just hits different. I've been stocking up the cooler with it for years. This year, Miller Lite turns 50. That is 5 decades of cookouts, laughs, and ice-cold moments that never miss. And if you've listened to the show for its 20-year existence, you know this to be true. Miller Lite. Great taste. 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you. Or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. Cheers to 50 years of Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
What does Zyn give you? Not just smoke-free nicotine satisfaction, but real freedom. Freedom to do what you love and choose your rewards. With Zyn Rewards, you can redeem points for premium tech, outdoor gear, and gift cards to your favorite retailers. Find your Zyn and keep finding rewards that fit your lifestyle. at zyn.com/rewards. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Hey guys, it's Jeremy, and I'm spending the early parts of this summer trying to go on a health kick. I want to feel like I'm being the healthiest to my body inside and out, and I want to do that in an easy way, because I'm busy, you're busy, we're all busy. It's that time of the year where even though things are lightening up for kids getting out of school, we all still have work to do. Let's make this our best season yet with nutritious 2-minute meals from Factor. Eating well has never been this easy. You just heat up and enjoy, giving you more time to do what you want. And they've got 45 weekly menu options, so you're never going to get bored. You're always going to enjoy it. And for me, these meals have really helped sustain me when I'm looking for something healthy, when I'm running between here at the Le Batard Show and the Marlins games and stuff we've had to do with the heat. I'm constantly just running between events, and being able to just stick this meal in the microwave and enjoy it, that's tasty. There's really good chicken options and shrimp options. There's red meat. There's really everything that you could be looking for. So go ahead and get started at factormeals.com/Dan50off and use code Dan50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code Dan50off at factormeals.com/Dan50off for 50% off plus free shipping.
Dan Le Batard.
Tatas.
Stugotz.
Tatas.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Can I do a quick economic primer here? In any sort of economy, when there is inflation, it causes things to inflate at different rates. What you are saying and what he is saying is that the price to the consumer has gone up more than wages, and because there is wage inflation as well. And what he's then saying is that makes it definitionally more unfair. And I'm arguing the opposite. Forget it, Dan. You can go back to your control room and lack a video because that'll be entertaining.
At Le Batard Show. At Le Batard Show. Put it on the poll. At Le Batard Show. Do you fall asleep when someone tries to give you a quick economic primer? At Le Batard Show. Time now to play.
Nothing will get you there.
Would you attend their funeral? This here is an attempt to humanize David Samson as he alienates the customer by giving him a series of questions about human beings who have died. Would he attend their funeral? What do you have, Mike, first as a nominee?
Clark Spencer.
Oh, wow.
Miami Herald beat writer Clark Spencer, Greg Cody's close friend and horse racing syndicate advisor.
Important detail.
I like Clark Spencer. He was a good journalist.
Oh, no.
If I were in town and in the same county, I would do it. But I wouldn't fly and I wouldn't drive far. But I would be sad.
But not one.
Same county.
But you wouldn't go one county. So if you're in Dade and he's being buried or there's a service in Broward, you're not getting in traffic.
Correct. But in the same county, I would go to that. That's a great call.
When in Rome.
But he'd be sad.
Did you?
He'd be dead.
Did you go to the funeral of Juan Rodriguez, a former Sun Sentinel beat writer who did indeed die?
Yeah, he did. So a little thing that you can say that we did as a Marlins organization. He was a beat writer. He died with 2 kids, and we paid for his kids' complete education. We did a trust. We never told anyone till just now.
That's nice.
That is nice. Not what I
FYI.
But it's not what I asked you. It's an FYI.
No, but I wanted you to know that we know him. We think about him. He was a reporter for the Sun Sentinel who tragically died with 2 young kids who are now, I assume, maybe out of college. But the trust was helpful to them, and I hope they're well. I did attend his funeral.
Wow, a big surprise there. So how many trusts like that have you created quietly over the years that people don't know about because they don't think you're a human being?
More than you know this. So more than you know.
Oh, well, that's why I asked.
Yes.
If I knew,
I would say that I'm currently the trustee to, I actually have the number, which is strange, but it was just tax time. So you have to have the number because the trusts pay taxes. I'm a trustee to 11 trusts.
Are those all Marlins related quietly trusts? Okay.
No, they're different trusts that have been created by people who wanted me to take care of it. Some were created for Marlins-related things that I still am a part of. But there are all sorts of different reasons. Trusts are meant to protect people from themselves or to help people attain the best they can be. And all of them are for education or other such items that can be helpful to people.
Put it on the poll, please. Do you associate David Samson with trust? Can you go ahead and put on the poll at Le Batard Show?
That's not going to work out well for him.
That's not going to work out well for him. What else? 11's a lot. How many of them are Marlins related? Do you not want to answer the question?
It's just, Dan, it's serious stuff in that.
It's a trust. It's in the word.
It's a fiduciary duty. You are responsible to help people.
Okay, you don't want to answer the question.
And so I take that extremely seriously.
Put the D in Fiduc.
Put the douche.
Wait, you're a douche if you're a trustee?
You put
No,
the
not
douche.
you.
We're saying
Dan.
fiduciary.
Dan.
David,
Like-
we're saying Dan.
Dan.
We're saying Dan.
Omar Minaya.
He was just nice to me recently with something on Nothing Personal, and it got me thinking that I should think about whether I would maybe attend his funeral in case his name ever came up. But it can't make up for the way it was when he was an opposing GM. So he's still a no. And there is a way to go from no to yes, but it requires an amount of rehab that Omar has not yet done. So I'm going to stay with no.
Hey, wait, did you just admit that this game is kind of infiltrating your life? You have interactions. You're like, I wonder if I would attend this person's funeral. How far does this person have to go?
Mike, this game started because I think about this stuff before the game started. I'm trying to sort of plan what my responsibilities
How many more good interactions do you need to have with Omar Minaya before you would attend his funeral?
It has to be like 8 in a row, and then death has to happen almost immediately after the 8th, because if it's all good interactions and then 30 years pass, I'm not going to the funeral. But 8 good ones, then death.
Death right after.
Go.
Right. Yeah.
Wait, so David, so for you, does it start with you attending someone's funeral and they do something that you no longer attend, or do they have to do something to get you to the funeral? Like if you just meet a person, you're going to attend their funeral or you're not?
Oh, no, I'm at a straight no.
Okay.
Everybody's at no.
So they have
The
to earn
question
your
is,
attendance. They don't lose your attendance.
Remember, Billy, it's all time for me. It's all about time.
We need to interrupt the proceedings right now in one of our most popular games because Tony Reali is ready, and he appears to have found Panther Central right here.
Wow.
Look at Tony Reali in the middle of South Florida. Yes.
Look at all that positivity.
That's a
My name is Casey Paquette.
Yes.
This is Casey.
Yes.
And look at the hat here.
We found them. We found them.
Are we on the precipice of a Stanley Cup championship tonight?
I believe so. So. We're all going to stay up late and watch it.
Staying up late and watching it. Look at this.
The biggest
Where
endorsement.
Are you guys
From Miami.
from? Where are you from?
Miami!
Miami. Yeah, look at this guy. Yeah, you see? So I found the positivity to you when the Panthers score tonight. What are we going to do? Let's go!
Yes.
Let's go!
Yes, when they take a 1-0 lead.
When they take a 1-0, you put me on a mission impossible. You said you had no shot. What do I got right here? I got a shot. Look at these beautiful people.
We want the cup. We want the cup.
Get him going, Tony.
We want the cup.
We want the cup. Let's go. We want the cup.
That's the next question. Want the cup. We want the cup. We want the cup.
Name a Panther.
Reali, ask the guy not wearing. No, not him.
How about we say the
Not
cup
him.
stays here? Because it's
Yes.
here. We got
He wants to say the cup stays here.
okay, so-
directing
all
Come
right.
over here, my
right.
friend.
All right, good at
I
it.
know. No, this is for hockey. You grew up playing hockey. I know it. Bellingham, get over here. Okay. So, who's your favorite Panther?
all-time Scott Mellenby.
All right.
Ask somebody else.
No,
Tony.
ask
Somebody
anybody
else.
but that guy.
Anyone else?
No,
Tony.
ask
Anyone.
anybody else.
I went to school and I watched him play. When I was going to school, he
All right,
was
we got it.
playing for the Badgers.
Yes. Okay. What's that? Come on now. Who's your favorite athlete then?
Oh, my favorite athlete, I say Michael Vick.
Michael Vick. Oh,
All
man.
right.
That one's loaded.
Yeah.
So, all right. Anybody predictions for tonight? What is the score going to be? Panthers, what? Edmonton, what?
9-0.
9-0.
They
There it is.
They gave us an answer.
They gave us enthusiasm.
I was worried about 28-14, honestly.
All right, we're gonna find some more, but here we are, the heart of Miami here, a walking tour. Mr. Casey, one last word for the Panthers tonight.
Yeah, Panthers, it's probably going to go into double or triple overtime. That's just the way this series has gone. It's going to be great.
Dan's happy.
Hoist the cup here tonight.
Game 7.
We know you're a great road team, but also you're a great home team. So
Real quick, what did I walk into here? This is a walking history tour, the Magic City. What is this?
Yeah, so I do tours, and this is Miami-Dade College, and the college.
College!
Yes, college!
What's the mascot of Miami-Dade College? What's the mascot?
Sharks.
All right, the Sharks. Okay.
Reali, can you
Ask
just-
them if David's paying for any of their college.
A nice walk downtown, and we're looking at all the historic buildings and all the historic stories, and I'm sharing that with the class. So,
So Dan is telling me right now, if it is 9-0, he's paying tuition for the young man who got the who got the prediction score. Right? Is that right?
That is
Okay.
correct.
Okay.
I will
If it is 9-0.
agree to that deal if it is indeed 9-0 tonight. I will agree to pay for his tuition.
I think you're safe.
I'm not sure that Edmonton's going to go down that easily. So.
Tony,
Well,
do me a
enjoy your
favor.
tour.
Ask anybody
Yes.
other
Yes,
than
yes,
him
yes.
to tell me what the Edmonton blank are.
Yes.
Ask anyone
Yes.
there
All right,
other
we have
than
one
him.
trivia question.
Yep.
One trivia question. This is not for a scholarship, but it could be for something else. The name. Look at everybody backing away. Are you getting them? Look at their feet backing away. Nobody wants the trivia question. Florida Panthers are playing the team from Edmonton. What is the name of the team from Edmonton?
Oilers.
My man.
Yes.
What's your name?
Hockey Town.
There he is. You see? Hockey Town, USA. Thank you very much, everybody.
Ask him to
Thank
name
you very
an
much. Be good-
Oiler.
Oh, yeah, you stop.
Oh, don't do that.
There you go. It's
Samson's in charge of the trust.
Be good to yourselves and to each other. All right, guys. We're here.
right.
We're going to go to the firehouse right now. I'm going to ride the pole. Or something
Okay,
like that.
get over
So, all
there.
right.
Thank you. Be careful with that
Crazy.
high pressure air over there. There's a lot of high pressure air over there. We will come back to Tony Reali in a second. David, I don't know if go ahead and cue that happy music again because I want to continue that.
What is that about high pressure air? What is that?
High pressure system?
No, they're behind him. It said warning, high pressure air on the truck in giant letters.
Cliff Floyd.
Oh, wow.
Cliff Floyd's a good one.
He has to.
No, we've had some recovery since he claims we didn't tell him he was going to be traded, and he was very anti me, and we had a problem, but we lived together in the same neighborhood for a long time up in Broward. And so there was an amount of recovery that then went away, and so then the clock got reset, so I'm back to a no.
How about Al Avila?
No.
All right.
How about Izzy Gutierrez?
Well, that depends on a few things happening here in the next few months or years.
Oh, Jesus.
But I would say that he's gone from a no-chance toilet pants to a definite possibility. But again, as an example, were it to happen now, yes, of course. We're all at Metal Art together. We're teammates.
Just so you know.
I didn't hear you,
He lives
Izzy.
in Fort Lauderdale, just so you know. That was
No,
him.
but you're a coworker, so no matter what, I would attend your funeral.
You're worth a
But
county. Yeah.
Yeah, you're worth multiple counties. Not, and even a flight, because I would fly to Florida to do that for Izzy. But if Izzy dies when he's supposed to, in his 90s or 100s, I would assume we won't be coworkers, and probably that would turn into a no. So that's a yes to a no.
David, we have 4 minutes left, and I do want to crank through some things here quickly. So let's just play now that video does indeed work, and I'm not getting the stop sign from my third base coach. All of the times that they mentioned alignment as it referred to Rafael Devers while talking about what David is calling a total turd in the clubhouse.
Alignment. We couldn't find alignment.
You failed to reach alignment.
It just was that alignment of complete alignment.
We weren't able to achieve that alignment.
You never want to be in this situation where you can't find alignment, can't get to alignment.
Failing to reach that alignment. I think I also shoulder a significant responsibility here, and failing to reach that alignment. Ultimately, as Sam has pointed out, this kind of lack of alignment, we failed to reach that alignment.
Came to the conclusion that we did not have a full alignment. We moved on.
Wow. A lot there. David, what are your thoughts? And just put back up on the screen the incredibly sad background of the second person in that video so we can see it defeated. Not that guy, the other guy. The sad alignment alignment behind him, the misalignment behind him. He wants to simply promote what that is behind him, and instead we see that is an incredibly sad cubicle of concrete there in the bowels of Fenway Park.
No, so actually that's Craig Breslow, who is the chief baseball officer, who is with the team. That's the manager's office, where they would do a pre and post game avail. So that is actually the backdrop that they're obligated to have with Mass Mutual as the sponsor.
But the rest of it, it's supposed to be a little closer, so you only get the back of it. But you mentioned Breslow, and I did find the reporting interesting on Carl Mosch, the player development guy who had been there since 2017, who got fired because he said of Breslow, while getting off a Zoom at the end, he said, "Thanks, Brez, you bleeping stiff." And then he was immediately fired because he didn't know he was on a Zoom mic.
I'm sorry, Dan, with all the Zooms you do, if you were as the person in charge of the company, if there were a Zoom with your employees and somebody, when the Zoom was over, said, "Le Batard, that turd, I hate him," you would just be like, "Oh, see you tomorrow at 9?"
Happens all the time, and I don't fire anybody. I don't fire.
Well, that's a you issue.
Oh, well,
you
that's right. But look, you're asking me that question. You know I'm not going to do that.
But you were being critical of Breslow for firing that employee.
You're going to have David
lose
do
the
it.
rest of your staff if you don't fire that employee. Every one of them.
I won't
and
do
you'd
it.
have me
You'll
do
have
it.
to do it.
He would have you do it.
Have to do it. I don't fire anybody.
I'm right, Stu.
That's correct. What do you think I keep you around for? Let's crank through these. You guys want to do this again?
Burke Badenhop.
Oh, the hopper.
I like the hopper. And I'd want to see whether it was an oversized casket, because I haven't necessarily been to too many funerals of 6'5"ers. So that interests me, because I always wondered if I'll be in a small casket, because I don't want the extra leg room. So I may go just for casket sort of understanding and knowledge.
I've never thought of what he's presently presenting to us, and now we only have a minute left, so I can't get to Ohtani throwing 100 miles an hour. I can't get to Stanton. I can't get to the Knicks. I can't get to Stephen A. Smith playing solitaire. But I can get to David's casket. You can't put him in a regular-sized casket. It would look ridiculous, correct?
He's sliding all over the place.
Yeah, he would take issue with paying full price.
No, it's not that. I just don't want to be stapled down. I want to be like you're on a ride, like a carnival ride. I like a casket that I fit in.
But it would just sort of be it wouldn't be a regulation casket, right? It would be
Would it be funded by tourist tax dollars?
By people who use hotels by the hour, yes.
Do you think you're going to be riding roller coasters in hell? I mean,
that would be fun. But I'll see you there, Stu.
Yes, you will. And we'll both see your Bryles. How about that?
See you guys later. See you later, David.
Always funny.
At Le Batard Show, put it on the poll, please. Does it sound fun to ride a roller coaster in hell? Yes or no?
Howdy, folks, it's Mike Ryan. Now, if you've been listening to the show a lot lately, you've heard so much playoff talk, playoff hoops. Down here in South Florida, we're especially enamored with playoff hockey. It's not just limited to the playoffs, motorsports, tennis, golf. It's truly one of the best times in the sporting calendar. And with the weather outside warming up, it's just perfect to hop in a pool, maybe grill up some food, but most certainly crack open some Miller Lights. I just described a pretty perfect day, didn't I? And it culminates with Miller time. There's something about a perfect grilling day. The sun's out, friends show up, and that first sip of Miller Lite just hits different. I've been stocking up the cooler with it for years. This year, Miller Lite turns 50. That is 5 decades of cookouts, laughs, and ice-cold moments that never miss. And if you've listened to the show for its 20-year existence, you know this to be true. Miller Lite. Great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you. Or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. Cheers to 50 years of Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.